pretty big area to run in, initially at least. A good job maneuvering around some guys, and Coach Johnson's going to
So we can go now, right? Blinking red?
All the way down to 0, it looks like, and maybe call a timeout to decide what he's going to do.
I think these are people who...
No, it's very confusing. It's poorly understood.
Yeah. What's the... I mean...
The explanation on the, if you go on the Wikipedia website for this, is like a paragraph long. But okay, that's no good.
I mean, I've seen it published in a couple of different places. It all makes sense, but you've got to know it.
Situated on the 5-yard line, first and goal. Harrison Butker had been warming up in the net. He's standing on an island by himself. That's what usually happens in these situations, Ronnie. Nobody wants to go near the kicker.
Get into his rhythm.
On the other hand, the Georgia Tech kicker, the Deadly Texas drought in '98 up in Athens.
The ball stays right here. It's
Georgia
just a
called
couple yards
2
longer
timeouts.
than an extra point.
O'Leary went out and said, I've got a joke ready for situations.
In this situation, a chance to really shock
The guy said, laughed and said, it's okay, I'll just kick the field goal. He said, okay. And he did.
Talking to his kicker.
Yeah. He said, I'm learning jokes against this.
To break the ice a little bit.
He said, no, it's all right. Coach. No,
He was cool.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Good for
I'm just
him.
going to kick the field goal.
3 or so seconds left in the
Now we got some people.
So they're walking
Georgia
some
Tech's offense
distance.
coming back out on the field. Tied at 24 with Virginia Tech. First and goal from the 5. Jackets just need to set up the Harrison Butker game-winning field goal try. Thomas under center. He dives to the left to get to the middle of the field. Down to the ground he goes. And now the Jackets can let this thing go all the way down.
I don't like the way they did
inside of 5
this.
seconds and call it.
How far out are they?
The ball is
They're on the 4.
Oh, I didn't.
They should have saved their time out.
Why'd we lose the audio feed? We lost it. No, it's not. I mean, it just went away.
All right, Garrett Gilbert from Tech.
Hey, we just lost
No,
this.
we can do that tomorrow.
We can go at 680 the fan on Real AM. Well, we lost the FM feed. That was the FM feed. No, they're lost on both.
We'll read that tomorrow.
Isn't that weird?
Schedule will come out next year. I'll figure out who won.
So they're using filler music now. I bet the real hardcore Tech fans are not appreciating this.
I, of course, grew up on radio, and I actually love radio.
With millions of businesses all in one place, YP can help you do pretty much anything.
Is this a design
We can't
commercial,
get you to
or are they?
It's timeout, so maybe they're
Oh,
running timeout.
okay.
YPS-based museums.
That doesn't usually. Normally, you would stick with the game.
YP has My Book, which helps you organize your favorite businesses.
If they're getting ready to kick the
field goal, I would think. 10 seconds.
Yeah, I would think.
Perfect for longer trips. YP, the even more powerful yellow pages. Download the app or visit YP.com. YP can do that.
The chalkboard. Sweeps.
Well, it's backing up a little bit here, but this is not really bad. I mean, wouldn't be. I mean,
It's not. It would back up anytime.
The same is true
It's
in
probably
business.
worse than
anytime, and
Saturday.
especially if there were any event in the park, let alone one with 3 music
And that's
stages.
why
But
UPS lets you track what comes in and what goes out. Logistics is our game. See how we can help yours at thenewlogistics.com. UPS, official logistics partner of the NCAA.
Growing up, my dad used to take me to the game at the stadium. We'd watch our favorite team play, and we'd always eat at Zaxby's. That's why it means so much.
It isn't even
to me
that loud
Zaxby's
sitting
is the
here.
official chicken of
it's I mean, it's loud, but it's not.
It's not bad though.
improving to 4-0, 1-0 in the ACC. Ronnie and I
it.
the first word after this on the Georgia Tech.
They missed it. They lost the thing.
They lost the feed and missed the kick.
No, they made the kick.
No. Well, I mean, they missed broadcasting it. That's incredible.
September
Oh, wow.
19th to the 22nd.
I can read that.
At least they made it.
Off our great paints and stains.
That's the important part.
You can give your whole home a color makeover.
Astonishing. By the way, Georgia was ahead of the boys of Troy,
52 to zipper.
20-0 in 6 minutes or something like that.
Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply.
There's got to be some joke in the fact that 2 weeks ago they played the Cox, and this week they're playing the Trojans.
Every play is Jonathan studied.
Got to be able to do something humorous with
I hadn't
that.
thought of that.
The same
I was exchanging texts with a friend of mine last night. It occurred to me. What we got here? You don't see too much of what's going on in there.
goes out. Logistics is our game.
Now there's that thumping bass we enjoy so much.
Canoga. Yeah, now that's true. That's the worst part of it is when they overload that bass.
All the time on RambleWreck.com. This is Georgia Tech football from ISG.
Now, can you? It's 10th's completely closed, right? You can't go right.
Let's go up 8th Street.
Okay.
How's your time?
I got time.
Yeah, let's go up 8th Street. It's supposed to be a disaster.
Yes, Atlanta, you have a choice in trauma care. That's good to know, because someone like me just might save your life one day.
Call 404-265-DOCS or visit AtlantaMedCenter.com.
By the way, Thomas, the tech quarterback, is a very good man.
Culture of care. People love Aaron's because we used to own the brands people trust in furniture, electronics, and appliances.
He was recruited. He was a star quarterback in high school, recruited by Alabama as a defensive back.
I'm sorry. Who are you talking about?
Tech's quarterback. He's a great, really good athlete. He put a great lead in the first half of the Tech safety, even the old "I'm slowing down, I guess you got me." Paid him and sped up. Very nice.
Ownership of used merchandise not required until required payments have been made or an early purchase option is exercised.
Take a shot, Rob. It's
Of what?
okay. I was going to say down the belt line. It's okay. A ton of people. It's not unusual.
Grady got another win last night.
Did they? Good job.
Lithonia. Much of a test, but
Whose players were they?
good question. I think they might have learned their lesson last year.
DJ White's interception set it all up, and boy, Brady going alongside Ronnie Jones. And Ronnie, I'll tell you what, this was an interesting game with some twists and turns late, but Jackets defense, when they needed to come, they came.
They showed up big time. And like I said, short of a lucky bounce pass to Michael Brewer on a fumble, really, the Jackets defense did a great job. I mean, you get pinned back in your own end zone or back in your own territory on a turnover, and you're able to block a field goal. A great.
Where was that coming from?
Yeah. So if you can get some good shots up 8th Street. This is 10th, right? This one, it's not good. It's not a good choice. I would have actually thought 5th Street would have been a better outcome, except this does get people sort of down the Monroe quicker, but.
As long as they're only on one side, doesn't seem that bad.
Right, no, it's not terrible. It's just at the moment. Is that a parking ticket? I can't tell. You see a parking ticket, try to zoom onto that.
Oh, you mean if there's car's been ticketed?
Yeah. Look at the cop blocking this. It's not a ticket, is it?
No,
It's a flyer.
Advertisement.
Good grief.
Turn come out.
No, this guy, the Jeep almost hit this guy because it was this man parking this stuff. Invariably. You wish you could pull your best move off, you don't.
Is most of this rental over here?
It's hard to say. There's a lot. I don't know enough to answer that question. So we'll go down to 5th Street. I'm not seeing the illegally blocked driveways though.
All good things in time.
So John, are you familiar with the building out opposite Phipps Plaza that has the Target and the Dick's Sporting Goods in it?
Yes, I go to that Target quite a bit actually.
So, you know, it was sort of infamous in architectural and design circles. There's no entrance off Peachtree, right? Get in through the parking garage.
You can exit onto Peachtree, but you can't enter there. No, I know you can exit onto it.
All pedestrian-wise?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
It's pedestrian,
Vehicle.
no pedestrian entrance. Because who would walk, right? Anyone.
Yeah.
So it's funny, but that's not the point. There's an LA Fitness took over the club on the top. That one's illegally parked. That red car. There was a health club that went out of business, LA Fitness Mall. So about 3 weeks ago, there was a robbery there, and it isn't funny, but there's a funny piece to it. Nobody got hurt, so I'll just tell you that so you can enjoy the humor. So let this guy by. And these guys pulled in what turned out to be a stolen Porsche at 5:10 in the morning after the first group of people that went in when the place opens and went in and robbed a guy who parked in the parking lot in the dark and walked up. And they stuck a gun in his face. It's none of that's funny, but they said they wanted his wallet. He said, well, it's in the car. You bring it in, bring the jail. And they said, all right, well, give us your keys.
Go back to your car. Oh.
So he gave them their keys, and they dismissed him. He was now done. And so he went into the club, and I don't know what they thought he was going to do, but what I would have thought he would do is what he did. He's called the cops. So they jumped in his car with this wallet and took off, exiting down from the roof of the building. Do you know that parking garage? It is so confusing.
Yeah,
that parking garage.
it is.
There's three roads you can, 4 roads you can exit on. 3. And it's poorly marked, and it's not intuitive, and you can't see them. And
so that's a now available parking space right there.
Yes, sir.
Some lucky person.
Anyway, they caught the guys apparently a few blocks away. But the hilarity that broke out with a woman that was teaching this class today that I was in was, she said, she actually had me reduced to tears laughing at the possible argument that was going on in the cars that were panicked trying to get out of that parking garage. You cannot tell where to go.
Yeah.
It is utterly indecipherable unless
especially if you're not familiar with it.
If you don't know it. If you haven't been in there 10 times, you're dead.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure out how to get out to the road I wanted to get out to.
So you think that dialogue would have been kind of
Well, she was
funny?
just saying, no, don't go left. Look, no, not why you
go
why
up.
you could goes this way. We need to go. Anyway, we were just cracking up.
That would be fun.
By the way, he had a Jeep. So they downtraded from a Porsche to a Jeep and got away with one guy's wallet. Got caught 3 blocks away 10 minutes later. I thought it was really quite a performance.
It is.
This is east of Midtown.
I don't get on this part of Greenwood.
Well, I lived
very
over here
often.
for years, and Doug Abramson lives right on the next street.
Okay.
He's and all these other neighbors wrote us this sort of jocular note saying, now that they're in Kwanzaa's, now that they're in Alex's district, the boundary is now Monroe, can they just join Virginia-Highland? Really
Annex it.
Yeah, well, that was what I said. You get the signatures, and I said it would be too...
Whoa, this is tight. This is tight.
Oh, you got a good picture here?
Yeah, I got a good picture.
That's
are you going to be able to get by?
Yeah,
that's-
sure. I'm a great driver. I drove a truck for 8 years. But that's ridiculous, and I got to be ticketed.
Wow, this is tight.
This is Monroe Circle.
This is a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
Monroe Circle?
Yeah, it ought to be. They should have no parking. No
One
parking
side
on
of
one
it, for
side,
sure.
yeah. I lived on Seal Place forever.
Seal?
Right here, yeah, on the left. Great. It was a wonderful place. I'll show you. I owned 3 different houses at one time or another. So they just parked in one up there. Yeah, I don't know why somebody would do that. Yeah, I owned that house.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's where I lived when I got divorced, and my wife stayed there for years, and I owned that house before that.
The one right next door to the yellow one?
Next to it.
Yeah.
And then I owned this house over here.
Wow.
Which is the biggest
All at
and
different
best I've ever
times?
won.
Did you
Him
have
and I bought the one across the street to move into. Instead, we got divorced. But it was weird. We were trying to buy a house. I was trying to buy a house.
Look at these. This is very out of character. I mean, when did these get built? Like,
Well, they got built about 10 years ago. That's illegally parked there.
that guy right there?
The Jeep is, yeah.
Or the Jeep?
Yeah, the Jeep is, and this one. He's too close to the corner. You should just come ticket him. I mean, but they also should tow him. All these guys ought to be towed. That one on Monroe Circle may be immune. I'm not sure you can get a tow truck in there. All right, well, there's our little quick tour of that part of Midtown, which is certainly more impacted than Virginia-Highland is. I wouldn't argue it. So let's see what else we can get up here. We've done most of the public stuff. We can go down and look at Virginia Circle, I guess. It probably does have some impacts. One block against parallel to which I'm saying. I'll see his illegal turn. So this is so far in compliance. You can ticket that guy, cheerfully do. Totally mean.
There's a cop there at Canuga.
He's in traffic, dude. He's walking.
Well, maybe he's just looking for people he can ticket.
Maybe we can get this far and get that off on him. No, that's just, that statement by Kate is the equivalent of what Jonathan said the other night at our meeting about Men's.
Is that Jonathan Peterson? Is that who that is?
Jonathan Lathbury.
Oh, okay. I knew I recognized his face.
There is a
but
for rental sign on it, and if you have a good tenant, really, Jonathan, it's excellent. Now, I wasn't even threatening to you, other than maybe you didn't think I was looking at you, which is probably correct. So the property line bows in on that side, and if you kicked it over toward the building, the property line toward that Georgia Power building, you get another. You would expand the width of the field by 7 or 8 feet. It's now 3:45. We'll come back down there. I mean, as soon as you get here,
it's pretty normal.
Yeah, there's empty spots. I mean, the real key to me is if you're visiting a friend here, can you do that? Is there a way to park if you come visit a friend?
Plenty of spaces now. I would think this area would be more.
Yeah, I think folks don't understand it because it's actually closer than parking at Ansley. I mean, this can be crowded, but are they on the
Nothing.
end? But it's not. This is a weird little kind of forgotten corner of Virginia-Highland. There's no good reason to be here, you know, unless you live here.
It just connects through these
That's
two.
right. It's easier if you want to go there.
What is the name of this road?
This is a dare. The very bottom, the very west end of a dare, which goes into Rupley up there at the corner. But so as soon as you got around the curve, there was nothing. And I'll go up Arcadia. I think we're ready to head back. I think I've seen. Can you think of any other places we might have? I could go up Los Angeles, I guess, but we did. Los Angeles is usually. We'll go up Los Angeles.
Okay.
We can do that. Actually, this is incredibly useful. In many ways, better than the forms, which I will come back and fill some out. But
So, what are the guys that are doing the paid study doing today? Are they out?
No, they're not. They're not doing. I mean, Joel hired a couple of them to do some surveys in West Midtown for the Midtown Alliance, which we're not paying for. Look, there's spots here.
Yeah. I like where those steps look.
I
Yeah.
think it came out well.
What is this bolt? Is that going to be like a planter?
planter.
Oh, okay.
The sign goes in the middle.
It will go.
Those.
Are they going to
Park
try to
sign.
reuse that green
Yeah.
sign?
Well, we're not paying for a new one. I'd put it that way. I think let's go.
These guys 20 frigging bucks. Unbelievable.
Demand pricing, go for it. Demand pricing.
Supply and demand, all supply and demand.
Charge them 100.
Charge what the market will bear.
For this obnoxious commodity, you betcha.
And they don't even realize they walk 100 feet over that way, there's plenty of parking.
Yeah, I should go up there and get me.
Yeah.
Get to a price.
Put a sign up. Free parking this way.
Damn, that looks good. I'm a sucker for kid lemonade. It's always. On the other hand, I went by one on Los Angeles, corner of Los Angeles and Stillwood down there, and they were asking me $1.
A buck?
I said, $1?
Well, it better be like Toomer's quality lemonade for a buck.
I said, guys, I'm kind of 10 cents is not rare. A quarter is normal. 50% is
would be understandable,
would be okay.
maybe, but a buck is you're pricing yourself out of the market.
And the kid, of course, looked baffled since he was 2. No,
Yeah.
I mean he was about 10. He looked baffled.
This is probably his father who.
There was a parent there. The parent said, some people are buying it. I said, okay, well, good luck.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I would normally buy anything a kid was selling. A day-old donut. I've been known to buy newspapers on Freedom Parkway just because the people were so earnestly trying to
Jeez.
sell them.
You are a soft heart.
You know, I ran into it the other day was Jack Wilkinson. Do you remember him from the paper?
The name's familiar.
He was a sports writer, and he wrote a book about Bobby Dodd and some other.
He was an AJC sports
Yeah,
writer?
yeah, for a long time. But it's funny because I was buying a copy of that Midtown article because Joel wanted to see it. I threw the paper down, and they tried to charge Jack, who was already in line, Jack Wilkinson. He said, I'm not buying that. That's not what I paid. I says, but sir, you can buy it from me. He said, right. He said, I'll work for that rag. I know it's not worth $1. And anyway, I said, that's harsh.
Wonder how when the thing gets out at 11 o'clock, if all the Bay-High bars and restaurants get slammed.
Last year, Virginia-Highland, George's did, because I was in it at 11. We were getting up and making our sleepy way there when this mob arrived, and George wasn't ready for it. Last night, he was ready for it. I had to,
you were up there
yeah,
going up there?
I was up there. It was 10:15. I was falling asleep, of course, because of my ridiculous morning schedule. But they had some extra staff, and everybody was having to hang around. As I expect, and some people had already come in.
Look at this, there's nothing going on.
It's just nothing. This is outrageous. Where's that crowd? What am I going to be upset?
And it's a sold-out event. They were very lucky with this weather, though. I mean, it's actually perfect weather.
September is the best month for weather.
Yeah.
So at least
They just got unlucky last year with the 2 days of just bad rain.
We're very unlucky. It's just normal. This road is a little bit of a mess, period. I really think it ought to be one side of the road. Now, why is this marked no parking? Is that there the corner? What's going on up here? That guy's just parked it legally. Why is he parked here?
This guy?
Yeah. Stupid Alabama. Why is he parked here? That's just ridiculous. So is that one. It's ridiculous. That's supposed to be. Anyway. So, like I said, went to the Tech game last night. They have a new coach. He's a native of Brazil. Been in the States a long time. He's a Brazilian assistant coach. 2 of them. But that's not the funny part. The funny part was that these 24 Brazilians showed up. These older men with their families who play Brazilian volleyball. It was a Brazilian volleyball mafia. Who knew? Who knew?
A mafia?
Well, I'm saying the posse.
Oh.
They were all there loudly cheering for Tech and yelling at the referee and being generally obnoxious.
Well, one of the few things I remember from being a volunteer during the Olympics at the indoor volleyball venue was the Brazilians. They came out in big numbers, and they really liked their volleyball.
They love their volleyball. It's a huge advantage.
Much more so than it is here.
Much more. It's also huge in Eastern Europe and in Europe generally. But anyway, yeah.
There's Park Atlanta doing their thing.
Neither rain nor sleet nor music Midtown shall deter us.
I wonder what Paul would say if he knew that it helped the incredible debate his presence on that bench sparks.
Well, so at George's, there's apparently a fair number of people that leave their extra money or add a buck as a tab.
I've heard that, and I don't know if it's true, this is just anecdotal, that the
same thing in Lowe's and Joe.
well, that the Chevron station lets him use their restrooms for free in exchange. He cleans the restrooms, and they let him bathe I guess to some extent.
Because he uses George's most of the day, but at night that must be where he goes. He sleeps on George's porch a lot.
Oh, does he?
Then
they're okay with that.
They neither consent nor object. Officially, they don't consent. But as Gigi said, if somebody's sleeping regularly on a porch or their presence, it's probably a deterrent to anybody breaking in.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
To some degree. That's probably right.
God, I don't think it. I'll never get a seat in there.
You want me to drop you off and park at my house? Or?
I don't know. I'm not saying I'll think it through what I'm going to do.
And I could drop you off, take your car, go to Chattanooga for the evening?
Yes.
No, I don't mind dropping you off.
Are we done videoing?
Yeah,
Or
I think we're good. There's no one.